Hello everyone and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Illuminate Education System. And today we'll be looking at O levels computer science, specifically for the syllabus of 2023 and 2025. And we'll be having a brief introduction of the syllabus and what are the contents inside it and what we will be learning in the future videos. I am Mohammed Faisal, your instructor for chemistry and computer science in the IES. If you look at the syllabus for paper one, we have the first chapter, which is data representation, in which we'll be learning the number systems, how we represent data using different types of number systems. We have the denary system, in which in our daily lives, we are using the denary system where when we are counting the days in a week, for example, and literally every calculation we do every day is based on a denary system, which is a base 10 system. And apart from that, we'll be learning about the binary system, the system that contains only zeros and ones, which is basically how the computer works using the switches. And we'll be learning the hexadecimal system, which is used by developers to check for different methods and try to better understand the computer by using the hexadecimal system instead of the binary. So then we'll be learning the text, sound, and images and how we represent the data in these forms, the different file extensions, and how we compress data, which we'll be learning in data storage and compression. And we'll be also having some kind of calculations in this chapter one regarding this data storage. So after that, we come to data transmission, how we transmit data. There are different types and methods which we'll be learning: serial, parallel, and simplex, duplex. Then we have the methods of error detection. Then we have the encryption, or like, for example, if our data is prone to getting hacked on the public network, so how can we encrypt that data using symmetric and asymmetric encryptions and things like that. Then we have chapter number 3, hardware, in which we will be learning the computer architecture, basically how the entire computer functions, how it performs all the tasks that we do. And then we have the input and output devices, such as the keyboard and the mouse. They are input devices, and the monitor and printer, these are output devices. And then we have the data storage as 3.3, in which we just learned data storage in chapter 1 as well. But here we'll be looking at detail, and we'll be looking at how the data is stored in different types of devices, like the primary storage, the secondary storage, the external storage, etc. Then we have network hardware, how our Wi-Fi works, how the Bluetooth works, and things like that. Then we have software, which is the chapter number 4. We'll be learning the different types of software, and interrupts is basically a system of how our computer functions on the software side. And then we have the types of programming languages, how we instruct the computer to perform different tasks, and how we convert those programming languages to help the computer understand and help the developers write that themselves. And then we have the internet and its uses as chapter number 5. We have the internet and the World Wide Web. And then we have digital currency, in which we have different systems of currency like Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, as well as central currency systems on the digital network like Stripe, or you can say EasyPaisa if you're living in Pakistan. And then we have cybersecurity, in which we learn terms such as hacking, viruses, and how to prevent that. Then we have the last chapter for the paper 1, which is automated and emerging technologies, in which we'll be learning automated systems, what are they, and how do they function. We have robotics, and we have artificial intelligence, and we're basically learning the difference between all these three and how all of them fall in different categories and how they're similar to each other, including the differences and their purposes. Then coming on to paper number 2, we have chapter 7, algorithm design and problem solving. Basically, paper 2 is an embodiment of the practical work we learned in paper 1. So basically in paper 1, we learned the theory of how basically computer systems work, how do they function. And paper 2, we're actually giving the task to a computer. We're learning how to actually tell a computer to do our work. So we first do PDLC, which is a program development lifecycle. We learn the basic steps of how to make a program and help a computer accomplish a task. Then we have subsystems, decomposition, abstraction. These are some methods to just break down your task into different hierarchy and different methods to complete that. Then we have algorithms, and then we have pseudocode, which is basically a simplified and easier version of the program that we actually write. We have also flowcharts, which are similar to pseudocode, but they include symbols and flowchart lines that help us look at the task much more visually at how it works. We have validation and verification checks, and we have test data, how to test that our pseudocode and flowcharts work. Then we have chapter 8, programming, in which we will be learning programming concepts themselves and the arrays, file handling, and things like that, how to actually use a computer. We'll be learning basically a language called Python, which is relatively easy compared to other programming languages. And we'll be learning how we can use that to give a task to a computer, and how we use different data structures such as arrays and file handling to accomplish that. Then we have the databases, which is chapter 9. We will be looking at the components of table, the data types. The SQL, which is structured query language, is basically a language that we use to search and create databases. Then we have chapter 10, which is the last chapter, and that's called Boolean logic. In that, we'll be learning logic gates, basically how the circuit of the computer works. So inside the circuit of the computer, you may have seen there are different wires and uh, ports, and then those ports, they are called the logic gates. So we'll be looking at how they work: logic circuits, truth tables, logic expression, and finally that's the entire syllabus. So moving on, in the content available on IES channel for computer science, you'll be having detailed lectures on each topic. We'll be learning some strategies to attempt the examination, and there will be exclusive workshops which will be before each examination series, whether it be October, November, or May, June. And we'll also be doing some topic questions, some from the past papers and some which are made by ourselves, because of the change of the syllabus. So see you in the upcoming videos. Thank you.